landmark cases involving two transgender students surrounding state laws banning transgender students from participating in girls' or women's sports. Amy Chow has the story.
The original meaning of Title IX.
As the Supreme Court takes up the cases of two transgender athletes fighting to play on women's sports teams, hundreds of protesters from around the country came to make their voices heard on both sides of the issue. One transgender student from New Hampshire tells News 4 she's also fighting her own lawsuit.
I've been playing soccer for 12 years. I started when I was 4, and I didn't want to stop. And it became just such a hard and stressful political thing for me to keep doing, just to exist and live my life.
But some families came to protest against trans girls on women's sports teams.
As a mom, I need to keep my kids safe and the girls safe. Maybe they can play on a co-ed team. There's plenty of co-ed teams out there, but girls' sports are for girls and boys are for boys.
The Supreme Court cases involve 15-year-old Becky Pepper Jackson of West Virginia and 24-year-old Lindsay Hecox of Idaho. Both have argued a ban on trans girls in women's sports is a violation of their rights under the 14th Amendment and Title IX.
The Supreme Court justices were asking questions today about the legal definitions of sex and gender identity, as well as the specifics of Title IX and the 14th Amendment and how they might be applied to these cases. Today's hearings come as transgender issues have been in the headlines over the past year.
President Trump, on his first day in office this term, signed an executive order on passports, saying they must reflect a person's sex at birth. The Trump administration has banned transgender people from the military. And last year, the Supreme Court upheld a Tennessee law that bans gender transition care for minors. However, the Supreme Court issued a 2020 ruling that employers cannot discriminate against or fire someone for being transgender. So it remains to be seen how they will rule on these two cases.